At 63, your knees might creak when you stand up from a chair. Your balance isn't what it used to be. And that daily walk everyone tells you to take? It might be doing more harm than you realize. Here's something doctors rarely mention. Nearly 40% of people over 60 who walk for exercise report chronic joint pain within 2 years, and researchers tracking fall-related injuries found that traditional walking routines can actually weaken the small stabilizer muscles that keep you upright. You've been told walking is the safest exercise, the gold standard for aging well, but what if the very motion we've relied on for decades is missing something critical? What if there's a reason Japanese elders in their 80s and 90s move with a grace and strength that seems impossible? I'm going to share 3 techniques that take 3 minutes each, practices so simple you can do them in your living room, yet so effective that people report feeling steadier, stronger, and more alive within days. The second one reverses a specific type of muscle loss that even physical therapists overlook. But the first technique, the one we'll start with right now, addresses something even more fundamental. It rewires the connection between your brain and your feet, a link that weakens every single year after 50 and directly predicts your likelihood of falling. Before we go further, drop a comment right now with your age and where you're watching from. I want to know who's here, who's ready to try something different. Are you in Texas? Ontario? Sydney? Just your age and location, that's all. Let me see you. Now, about that walk you take every morning. You lace up your sneakers, you step outside, you move in a straight line on flat ground, probably the same route every day. Your heart rate goes up a bit, you feel virtuous, and you come home. But here's what's actually happening inside your body. Walking on flat, predictable surfaces lets your brain go on autopilot. The tiny muscles in your ankles, the ones that make split-second adjustments when the ground shifts, they get lazy. The nerve pathways that carry signals from the soles of your feet to your cerebellum, the part of your brain that controls balance, those pathways thin out from lack of challenge. Studies from balance disorder clinics show that people who walk the same flat route daily can lose up to 30% of their proprioceptive sensitivity. That's your body's ability to sense where it is in space, in just 5 years. 30%. And when proprioception fades, falls happen. You step off a curb wrong. You misjudge a crack in the sidewalk. You reach for something and your body doesn't compensate the way it used to. Let me tell you about Richard. Richard was 67, a retired electrician from Ohio, and he walked 3 miles every single morning on the bike path near his house. Flat, paved, predictable. He felt great, or so he thought, until one afternoon he stepped onto his daughter's uneven lawn and his ankle rolled. He didn't just twist it. He went down hard, fractured his wrist trying to catch himself, spent 8 weeks in a brace. When he came to see me, he was terrified. He said, "I walk every day. How did this happen?" The answer: his feet had forgotten how to read the ground. So here's the first technique, and it's called Hadashi Aruki, which translates to barefoot walking, but we're not talking about a stroll through the park. This is a 3-minute practice that forces your feet and brain to wake up and talk to each other again. You're going to do this indoors, on varied surfaces, slowly and with intention. Here's the protocol. Find 3 different textures in your home: a smooth wood floor, a rug, a yoga mat, a towel, even a folded blanket. If you have a hallway with tile and then carpet, perfect. Take off your shoes and socks. Stand tall, arms relaxed at your sides. Now walk, but walk like you're exploring the ground for the first time. Heel to toe, slowly, feeling every part of your foot make contact. Spend 1 minute on each surface. As you move from smooth to soft to textured, your foot has to adapt. The tiny sensors in your skin send new signals. Your ankle muscles fire in patterns they haven't used in years. Your brain has to pay attention. This isn't mindless. This is active. If you feel unsteady, keep one hand near a wall or counter, but don't lean. Just a light touch for confidence. Do this every morning for 3 minutes before you do anything else. That's it. 3 minutes of barefoot walking on varied surfaces. Richard started this the week his brace came off. 2 weeks later, he told me his feet felt alive again. He could feel the ground. He walked on gravel, on grass, on uneven dirt without fear. His ankle didn't roll. His brain had relearned how to stabilize him. Now, the why behind it. Your feet contain over 200,000 nerve endings. When you lock them inside cushioned shoes and walk on flat ground, those endings go numb. You lose what's called the foot-to-brain feedback loop. Research on balance and aging shows that reintroducing varied tactile input, texture, unevenness, even for a few minutes a day, can restore proprioceptive function in older adults by measurable degrees within weeks. You're not just exercising. You're retraining a survival system that evolution gave you. And here's the kicker. This one practice, 3 minutes every morning, also strengthens the small muscles along your arches and around your ankles, the exact muscles that prevent the kind of fall that ends independence. But Hadashi Aruki is only the foundation. Your feet can sense the ground again, but if your legs can't hold you steady when you shift your weight, you're still vulnerable. And this brings us to the second technique, the one that addresses a type of muscle loss so specific, so overlooked, that most doctors don't even test for it until it's too late. You've probably heard of sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. After 50, you lose about 1 to 2% of your muscle mass per year if you do nothing. But there's a subset of muscles, the slow-twitch stabilizers deep in your hips and core, that decline even faster. And these are the muscles that keep you from swaying when you stand on one leg, that catch you when you trip, that let you get up from a low chair without using your hands. Most exercise programs ignore them because they're not visible. They don't make you look strong. But they make you functionally strong, the kind of strong that means you can carry groceries and climb stairs and live alone at 85 without fear. The Japanese have a practice called katashi ashi, one leg standing, and it's built into daily life. Elders do it while brushing their teeth, while waiting for water to boil, while talking on the phone. It looks absurdly simple. Stand on one leg. But done correctly, for just 1 minute per leg twice a day, it activates those deep stabilizers in a way that walking never will. Here's the full protocol. Stand next to a counter or a sturdy chair. Lift your right foot a few inches off the ground. Don't just balance. Engage. Feel your left glute and hip working to hold you steady. Your core should be tight, not rigid, but active. Your standing foot should be spreading, toes gripping lightly. Hold this for 30 seconds to start. Breathe normally. Don't hold your breath. After 30 seconds, switch legs. Do this twice so you get 1 minute total per leg. As you improve, and you will improve quickly, lift the raised knee higher, or close your eyes for 10 seconds, or turn your head slowly side to side while balancing. Each variation forces your stabilizers to work harder. Do this twice a day. Morning and evening. 3 minutes total. Let me tell you about Diane. Diane was 61, a former teacher from Michigan. She could walk 5 miles no problem, but she couldn't stand on one leg for more than 5 seconds without grabbing something. She described feeling wobbly, like her hips weren't connected to her feet. She'd given up hiking because she didn't trust herself on trails. I taught her katashi ashi. 1 minute per leg twice a day, while she waited for her coffee to brew. In 10 days, she could hold it for 45 seconds per side without touching the counter. In 3 weeks, she was doing it with her eyes closed. She went back to the trails. She told me, "I feel like my body listens to me again." The reason this works so fast, single leg standing creates what's called a unilateral instability challenge. Your body has to recruit every stabilizer muscle along the standing leg, from your ankle up through your hip and into your obliques, just to keep you from tipping over. Studies from rehabilitation and orthopedic journals indicate that single-leg balance exercises improve functional stability and reduce fall risk more effectively than traditional strength training in older adults, and the gains happen quickly because these muscles respond to the specific demand of stabilization. You're not building size. You're building control. And control is what keeps you upright when the world shifts under you. So now your feet can read the ground, and your stabilizers are awake. But there's a third element, and it's the one that ties everything together. It's the element that Japanese movement practices understand deeply and that Western exercise completely misses. It's about your spine. After 60, your spine doesn't just stiffen because of arthritis or disc wear. It stiffens because you stop moving it through its full range. You sit in chairs. You sleep on soft mattresses. You reach for things in front of you but rarely twist, rarely extend, rarely compress. And when your spine loses mobility, Your whole body compensates in ways that make you fragile. Your shoulders round forward to protect a stiff mid-back. Your hips tighten because your lower spine can't extend. Your neck juts forward because your upper back won't rotate. The result? You move like a block of wood. And when you move like a block of wood, you fall like one too. No give. No adaptability. Just impact. The third technique is called Nico no Undo, cat movement, and it's the most profound of the three because it restores spinal fluidity in every direction. Flexion, extension, rotation, and lateral bending. The entire sequence takes 3 minutes, and if you do it every day, you'll move 10 years younger. I'm not exaggerating. Let me walk you through it. Get down on your hands and knees on a soft surface, a yoga mat, a thick towel, a carpeted floor. If getting down is difficult, you can modify this by standing and placing your hands on a sturdy table or counter, bending forward at the hips so your spine is parallel to the ground. But if you can get on all fours, do it. Hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Now, the movement. Inhale deeply and let your belly drop toward the floor as you lift your head and tailbone toward the ceiling. Your spine curves into an arch, like a hammock. This is extension. Hold for 2 seconds. Then exhale fully and do the opposite. Round your spine toward the ceiling, tuck your tailbone, drop your head, pull your belly button toward your spine. This is flexion, the cat stretch you might remember from yoga. Hold for 2 seconds. That's 1 cycle. Do 10 cycles slowly, breathing with the movement. Inhale to arch, exhale to round. This takes about 1 minute. Next, rotation. Come back to a neutral spine, flat back, head in line. Keep your hips still and slowly turn your head and shoulders to the right, trying to look at your right hip. Hold for 3 seconds. Return to center. Turn left, look at your left hip, hold 3 seconds. Do 5 rotations each side. That's another minute. Finally, lateral bending. From neutral, shift your hips to the right while curving your spine to the left, so your body makes a C shape. Your head and tailbone should move toward each other on the left side. Hold for 3 seconds. Return to center. Shift hips left, curve right, hold 3 seconds. Do 5 on each side. That's your final minute. 3 minutes. Flexion, extension, rotation, lateral bending. Every plane of spinal motion. Done daily, this undoes decades of stiffness. Let me tell you about Paul. Paul was 72, a retired pilot from Arizona. He had chronic lower back pain, the kind that made him move carefully, like he might break. He couldn't look over his shoulder to back out of a parking space without turning his whole body. His doctor said it was just aging, maybe some arthritis. I taught him Nico no Undo. Every morning, 3 minutes on his living room floor. In 1 week, his back pain dropped by half. In 3 weeks, he could rotate his spine freely. He said, "I didn't realize how locked up I was until I wasn't anymore." The science here is straightforward. Your spine has 24 movable vertebrae, and between each pair is a disc that needs motion to stay hydrated and healthy. When you move your spine through full ranges, you pump fluid in and out of those discs, you stretch the ligaments that hold everything together, you wake up the small muscles along your vertebrae that control fine movement. Data from spinal health studies suggest that regular multiplanar movement can reduce stiffness, improve disc nutrition, and decrease pain in older adults, often within weeks. You're not treating a disease. You're restoring normal function. And when your spine moves well, everything else, your hips, your shoulders, your balance, falls into line. Now let's pause for a second and talk about what you're really doing here. These 3 techniques, Hadashi Aruki, Katashi Ashi, Nico no Undo, they're not exercises in the way you've been taught to think about exercise. They're not about burning calories or building big muscles or hitting a step count. They're about restoring fundamental movement capacities that you were born with and that modern life has slowly stripped away. Your feet were meant to feel the earth. Your legs were meant to stabilize your body in space. Your spine was meant to move like a wave, not a board. And here's the thing, you can get all of this back. Not most of it, all of it. 9 minutes a day. 3 minutes per technique. That's less time than it takes to make breakfast. And the order matters. Do Hadashi Aruki first, right when you wake up, before coffee, before anything. 3 minutes of barefoot walking on varied surfaces. Wake up your feet, reconnect your brain to the ground. Then, later in the day, Katashi Ashi. 1 minute per leg, twice a day. Morning and evening. Stand on one leg, engage your stabilizers, build control. And before bed, Nico no undo. 3 minutes on all fours, moving your spine through every plane. Flexion, extension, rotation, lateral bending. End your day with fluidity. If you do all 3 every single day for 2 weeks, you'll notice changes. You'll feel more stable when you walk. You'll move more easily when you get out of a chair. You'll stand taller. People around you will notice too. They'll ask what you're doing. And you can tell them, I stopped relying on a single repetitive movement and started feeding my body the variety it actually needs. But let's be clear about what these techniques don't do. They don't replace medical care if you have a serious condition. If you have severe osteoporosis, if you've had recent surgery, if you have uncontrolled dizziness or heart issues, talk to your doctor before you start any new movement practice. These techniques are gentle, but they're active. They require your body to work in new ways. And if something hurts, not the good kind of stretch but sharp pain, stop. Modify. Use support. Go slower. The goal is never to hurt yourself. The goal is to restore capacity within your safe range, and then gently expand that range over time. Also, these techniques don't replace strength training entirely. If you have access and ability, keep doing resistance work. Lift light weights, use bands, do bodyweight squats. Build your big muscles, your quads, your glutes, your upper body. But understand that traditional strength training doesn't address the things these 3 techniques address: proprioception, deep stabilization, spinal mobility. You need both. The Japanese elders who move so well in their 80s and 90s, they're not just doing one thing. They're integrating varied movement into daily life. They walk on uneven paths. They squat to sit on the floor and stand back up. They garden, they stretch, they move in ways that challenge balance and flexibility and control. And they do it every day, not in hour-long gym sessions, but in small, consistent doses woven into the fabric of living. So where does that leave you? You're over 60. Maybe you're 62, maybe you're 78. Maybe you've been walking every day and feeling proud of it, but also feeling like something's missing. Maybe you've been afraid of falling, afraid of losing your independence, afraid that the decline you see in others is inevitable for you too. It's not. What you're experiencing isn't the result of age alone. It's the result of a movement diet that's been too narrow for too long. You've been walking in straight lines on flat ground, sitting in chairs, sleeping in beds that don't require you to get up and down from the floor, moving in a tiny slice of the range your body is capable of. And your body, smart and adaptive as it is, has trimmed away the capacities you're not using. Your feet stopped talking to your brain. Your stabilizers fell asleep. Your spine locked up. But all of those systems are still there. They're just dormant, and you can wake them up. Here's what I want you to do tomorrow morning. Set a timer for 3 minutes. Take off your shoes and socks. Walk slowly, barefoot, on every different surface you can find in your home. Wood, tile, carpet, rug, towel. Feel the ground with every step. Heel to toe. Deliberate. Present. That's Hadashi Aruki. Do it first thing. Then, sometime during the day, stand on one leg for 1 minute per side. Use a counter for balance if you need to, but try to need it less each day. That's Katashi Ashi. And before you go to bed, get on your hands and knees, or lean forward over a table and move your spine. Arch and round 10 times. Rotate side to side 5 times each. Bend laterally 5 times each. 3 minutes. That's Nico no undo. 9 minutes total across the day. Do this every day for 2 weeks. Don't skip. Don't negotiate. Just do it. And then come back here and tell me what changed. Because something will change. You'll feel it in your feet first. A sense of grip, of connection. Then in your legs. Steadiness where there was wobble. Then in your back. Ease where there was stiffness. And then, maybe a week in, maybe 2, you'll do something you haven't done in years without thinking about it. You'll step off a curb without hesitation. You'll bend down to pick something up and stand back up smoothly. You'll turn to look behind you and your whole body will rotate, not just your neck. And you'll realize, this is what it feels like to inhabit your body again, not just drag it around. The truth buried in the science, the truth that no one tells you when they say, just keep walking, is that your body needs complexity. It needs challenge. It needs variety. Walking the same flat route every day is better than nothing, but it's not enough. It doesn't prepare you for the stumble on the stairs, the uneven sidewalk, the moment when you have to catch yourself. These 3 Japanese techniques, these 9 minutes a day, they do. They train the exact systems that keep you upright, mobile, and independent. And they do it in a way that's accessible, safe, and fast. Faster than you'd believe. So let me ask you this, and I want you to comment with your answer. Which of these 3 techniques are you going to start with tomorrow, and why? Are you going to wake up your feet with Hadashi Aruki because you've been afraid of falling? Are you going to test your balance with Katashi Ashi because you want to feel stable again? Or are you going to move your spine with Nikko no Undo because you're tired of feeling stiff? Tell me. Tell me which one speaks to you, and tell me why. I'll be reading every single comment, and I want to hear your story.